everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Orphea and in today's video I want to talk about being new in the goth scene. I have three keywords that I would personally use for anyone new in the goth scene. The first one being discover, the second one explore, and the third one experiment. Discover. First of all, get to know what there is in the goth scene. This means music, literature, movies, etc. You don't have to like it all, but I would highly recommend just checking it out. You never know that you discovered a band that you really extremely love, that is 100% what you like. The second one, explore. Go to events, meet new people. I know this can be very intimidating. You can also do this by hanging out online with your favorite YouTubers. I do live stream every single month. I know a lot of other YouTubers do too. You can comment on their videos and get to know people that way. And finally, the third one, experiment. I personally experiment with my style a lot. I can change from one look to a completely different style within goth within not minutes, maybe half an hour, depending on the style I'm going for. And it's very important that you don't think about yourself of having to be stuck into one specific case within goth. Like, I experiment with my look a lot and with my music taste as well. I discover new things, I try to find out as many things as I can, and I think that's very important. Being goth is a constant evolution because you discover new things, bands bring out new albums that you may or may not like, and it's just a constant process of discovering things that you really love or things that you maybe don't love, and that's fine as well. And that brings me to the next point. Don't be afraid of elitists. I know elitism is a very scary thing within the goth subculture, and I know there are elitists, but 99% of people you will encounter at goth events, at goth parties, etc. are the nicest people ever. If you're just polite and friendly, introduce yourself, just talk to them, and if you have any questions, just ask them. What happens to me at Infected, which is the party I attend most often, people will see me and then afterwards when I'm outside I just start talking to them and they're like, oh, you're actually super nice, we didn't know we could talk to you. And then they start asking me questions, and that's totally fine. If there is a DJ playing and you really like the song, don't be afraid to go and ask what that song is. Now, of course, if the DJ is just about to transition songs, it can be a little harder. But I think that most of the time you just have to be polite, have to be friendly, and just ask. Most of us are actually super friendly, super nice, and if that person that you're talking to isn't, then you know they're not worth talking to. A very important thing that I think is a big misconception about goth is that you have to like every single aspect of goth. I personally am not very much into the post-punk new wave genre of music. Personally, I like listening to it when I'm at home, but I don't enjoy going to parties that play that music, and that's totally fine. I also don't love the aesthetic that goes with some parts of goth subculture. I totally do not identify with a lot of parts of it. That is not necessary. You just have to find what you enjoy, what makes your type of goth unique and yours, and just go with that. Now, if you want to learn more about goth, I would highly recommend checking out my What is Goth series, in which every month I will explain a part of the goth subculture. There is also one big general video online about it that explains kind of broadly what goth is. And I think it's actually good reference material for everyone who wants to know what goth is, or even if you want to let your parents know what goth is. Because a lot of people have a very big misconception about goth. Goth is not a cult. Goths are not Satanists, goths are not fetishists, we are just people that enjoy the dark side of life. And we enjoy different things than most mainstream people, and that's completely fine. And because I'm goth doesn't make me less of a human being, doesn't make me less of a working ability, because people often think that it's very hard finding a job when you're goth. Of course, I don't look like this when I go to work. I think makeup-wise I could pull it off, the hair as well. Maybe not the outfit, because it's a bit too revealing, but there is a general dress code at work. When it's Halloween, I wear bat sweaters and bat shirts and skeleton tops to work, and it's never been an issue. My workplace personally is very open to all of that. And I know young goths are people coming into the goth subculture, have a lot of questions, so if you have any that you want to ask, please do so in the comment section. stay polite, stay friendly, otherwise I might have to block certain keywords or certain people, but I'm here to help. I'm here to open the gates to those people who are curious about God but are maybe afraid to put in the first steps. I personally love attending events, I do so a lot, and I would highly recommend it because most people at those events are super nice and you will discover a lot more things than if you were to stay online. The online space right now, in my opinion, is more toxic than it used to be when I started getting into goth. And there is one good website, which is Vampire Freaks, which I personally still use, where I am in cults, as they call it. It's basically forum groups where you just talk about certain things. So if you're old enough to get onto Vampire Freaks, I think you have to be 16 or 18, then do that. That's a great way to communicate and discover things about God as well. There's also Reddit forums that you could use, so there are a lot of ways to connect even online. Now offline, I know it can be hard finding events. I am personally in Belgium and Belgium doesn't have a lot of goth events, but I am going to bigger events this year. I am finally going to the Wave Gothic Treffen again, which is a super important announcement that I will be talking about more on my channel in the future. I'm also going to the only goth festival that we still have in Belgium, which is called W-Fest, as we call it here, and there's a lot of cool bands performing there as well. But it doesn't mean that you have to go to certain events. If you don't enjoy going out to certain events, then don't. Then just do what you like. There's also goth bars every now and then. I know in Brussels there is one, here in Belgium it's called Le Cercueil, which basically means the coffin. It's a very cool bar. They play mostly metal and not really goth music, but still it's nice to meet people there. And I think the most important part, for myself at least, is having fun and experimenting and just doing what I enjoy. I think you should always do whatever you like most, of course within certain limits, but still stay true to yourself and have fun. And please don't get intimidated by all of the goth people. We might look scary, but I promise you most of us aren't. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you did. Should you still have any questions at all, feel free to ask them in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I make new videos every week and I would love to have you for every single one of them. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you soon. Bye!